We're reading from Ideas and Opinions by Albert Einstein. Excuse the lighting, I'm in a different room. Let's get into it. We're dealing with Einstein, not his science, but some of his other or thoughts about other things, education and social issues. Ensuring the future of mankind. Message for Canadian Education Week, March 2nd to 8th, 1952. Published in Mein Weinbild, Zurich, Europa Verlag, 1953. Let me stop to say, magazines and zines are very important for documenting um, the signs of the times, to capture errors for historical sake. That's why I'm always doing different kinds of zines. So if you want to start something, a blog is good. Put it in magazine form as well so that it's out there. So that even when your websites go down, you have something. Let's get back into it. The discovery of nuclear chain reactions need not bring about the destruction of mankind, any more than did the discovery of matches. We only must do everything in our power to safeguard against its abuse. In the present stage of technical development, only supranatural organization equipped with a sufficiently strong executive power can protect us. Once we have understood that, we shall find the strength for the sacrifices necessary to ensure the future of mankind. Each one of us would be at fault if the goal were not reached in time. There is the danger that everyone waits idly for others to act in his stead. The progress of science in our century will be highly appreciated by every knowledgeable person, even the casual observer who only encounters the technical applications of science. Nevertheless, its recent achievements will not be overrated if the fundamental problems of science are kept in mind. If we ride in a train, we seem to move with incredible speed as long as we watch only nearby objects. But if we direct our attention to prominent features of the landscape, like high mountains, the scenery seems to change very slowly. It is just the same with the fundamental problems in science. In my opinion, it is not reasonable even to talk of our way of life or that of the Russians. In both cases, we are dealing with a collection of traditions and customs which do not form an organic whole. It certainly makes more sense to ask which institutions and traditions are harmful and which are useful to human beings, which make life happier or more painful. We then must endeavor to adopt whatever appears best, irrespective of whether at present we find it realized at home or somewhere else. Now to the salaries of teachers. In a healthy society, every useful activity is compensated in a way to permit of a decent living. The exercise of any socially valuable activity gives inner satisfaction, but it cannot be considered as part of the salary. The teacher cannot use his inner satisfaction to fill the stomachs of his children. Education for Independent Thought from the New York Times, October 5th, 1952. It is not enough to teach a man a specialty. Through it, he may become a kind of useful machine, but not a harmoniously developed personality. It is essential that the student acquire an understanding of and a lively feeling for values. He must acquire a vivid sense of the beautiful and of the morally good. Otherwise, he, with his specialized knowledge, more closely resembles a well trained dog than a harmoniously developed person. He must learn to understand the motives of human beings, their illusions, and their sufferings in order to acquire a proper relationship to individual fellow men and to community. These precious things are conveyed to the younger generation through personal contact with those who teach, not, or at least not in the main, through textbooks. It is this that primarily constitutes and preserves culture. This is what I have in mind when I recommend the humanities as important, not just dry specialized knowledge in the fields of history and philosophy. Overemphasis on the competitive system and premature specialization on the ground of immediate usefulness kill the spirit on which all culture life depends, or all cultural life depends, specialized knowledge included. It is also vital to a valuable education that independent critical thinking be developed in the young human being, a development that is greatly jeopardized by overburdening him with too much and with too varied subjects. Point system. Overburdening necessarily leads to superficiality. Teaching should be such that what is offered is perceived as a valuable gift and not as hard a duty. So he's basically talking about things like teaching to the test and getting letter grades. Because I know many people who graduated master's degrees straight A's and they don't know anything. They know how to do assignments, but they don't have a lot of depth of knowledge or how to use what they learn beyond getting a job. And that's very dangerous because if you're in a field and you don't know what you're doing these days, it could cause great harm. Or if you just know enough to get the job and to surface knowledge, it could be very dangerous. We need deep thinkers and creative thinkers and critical thinkers, like Einstein said. So I want to thank you for your support. Until next time, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and please be safe.